The accusation that they made to the Danko Kufuado.
So it's your but
I've made that point. Haven't I made that fundamental point from the initial point that I'm not a subscriber. I'm not a subscriber to this kind of ugly noise. But they are simply testing a dose of their own medicine, and they can't tell us to shut up.
Very well.
Because he interjected me. He interjected me. As we speak this morning, that is not wait for the bauxite ones. You wait for the bauxite ones. Today, this government, the president, has basically centered and concentrated everything gold in one bosom. They are playing chess game. They are playing chess game with our future. Everybody, you cannot even own your own gold. It's a crime for now to even decide I'm holding gold and I'm giving it to an engineer. He gives you 1 cedi for it.
But that's a trade, and you need a license to trade.
But wait! I am telling you, I'm giving you facts. How you appraise the facts is your business.
Goodness.
But I'm giving you facts. You see, so today you are sitting on TV, all agitated, telling us about how somebody is a businessman, somebody is this. The others were sweeping the floor before their brother became president. The others, they were eating from the gutters before the Danko Kufuado became president. It is painful. You know what is really painful? What is really painful is a bunch of people who believe that they should be treated specially. Look at what these guys did to Gabi Otredakon. Look at what these guys did to Nana Bedi Etu Asante. Imagine, close your eyes for 30 seconds.
We knew them before power.
Hamza, please.
We don't know Ibrahim Mahama.
Yes, we
don't know Ibrahim Mahama who issued that check to Merchant Bank. We don't know Ibrahim Mahama. We don't know Ibrahim Mahama have. He's a businessman. He's a businessman. Did he have access to our gold? Did he have access to our bauxite before his brother became president? Stop that. I have told you that. I have told you that.
Didn't he have concessions in this country?
Hold on.
Even under President Kufuor, your own president.
Hamza,
what are you talking about?
Dennis, let's
advise Hamza that this country, not all of us are stupid. Not all of us in this country.
You are comparing Ibrahim Mahama.
Not all of us in this country are stupid.
Stop it.
Today, it is your government, it is your president. So you are choosing and selecting. I am saying that I pray and hope and wish Ibrahim Mahama is able to have access to this black voter concession. I want it to be owned by him so that people can get jobs to do. I am only saying that.
That's why the ownership
and it's an advice to him. I'm only saying that they should be ashamed of themselves with how they treated Akufo and his family people. Knowing what they are doing now. Today, they are willing our goal to one person. That is fine.
Thank you.
But they should close their eyes for 30 seconds and imagine if what is happening today with Ibrahim Mahama was happening under Akufo with anybody with an Oforiata name or with an Akufo or the Dankwa name. That is what we are talking about.
Thank you.
And you should slow down with that.
Dennis.
Otherwise, the sort of things that will come up, he will be surprised.
Thank you, Dennis. Engineer.
We kept saying that there is nowhere in the world that a 24-hour economy operates everywhere in the country. There is nowhere. Even in the most advanced worlds, go to the streets of Washington. By 8 p.m., the biggest malls you can think of are closing.
Yeah.
You know, even Oxford in the UK, you have 24-hour economy, but probably just in the city of London, the Oxford Street and all of that. So we kept saying it, but they did not listen to us. They've launched a document they call the 24-hour policy. And basically, the 24-hour economic policy is basically a footnote, simply a footnote of the Ghana Beyond Aid document. If you look at the Ghana Beyond Aid document that was launched by this country, it is holistic, it is comprehensive, it has a massive industrialization drive, economic revival in there that is already being implemented. And I would ask everybody to go and pick the document and look at it. Go to the Ministry of Trade website. You will see policy documents that have been there since Kufuor era that are basically reflecting in this 24-hour economy. That is not what they promised. They promised us. Look at the automotive industry that was activated in the past 6-7 years. 8 of them or more of them in this country. Something we've never seen before. These are all things that are already happening. So you promise us heaven and earth. You come to office and then you come and put together existing policies and existing documents and present them a bureaucratic document and present them to us as your policy for 24-hour economy. Let us be real. This is not politics. The fact that you give money even to a business does not mean that that business would automatically have to operate 24 hours. If the demand and the need for it is not there, and you even force them to operate that way, that business will collapse. So you have to come clear and clean and tell us that the 133 that you promised explicitly, that we should vote for you and that when you come to office you will implement, you simply are unable to do it. and that what you have launched is simply an industrialization policy.
This document does not do justice.
No, it doesn't. I mean, this document is no different from the Ghana Beyond the Day. It's no different from the economic program that President Kuffour had. It's no different from the economic program that Ato Forson had. There's no difference.
Isn't that where the problem is? Because if it should date back to even Ato Mills, we've not been able to fully implement.
I agree.
Then we have a problem.
I agree. That is why I'm saying that it's a deceptive government. You see, it's a big deception. It's a grand scheme of deception that you promise us one thing and you are delivering something else. You see, what they have produced is exactly what we spoke about when they went about this country, making that unrealistic promise of 24-hour economy or with night clubs, with football clubs and all of that. That is the point we kept making. That before you be able to get an outcome of a 24-hour economy, you must stimulate the economy. And that once you properly stimulate the economy, the outcome of those individual separate policies may produce a 24-hour economy. But you don't put it in the minds and the heads of the people that I come and I'm going to introduce something called 24-hour economy. NDC, for me, I keep saying it, that the last 6 months that they've been in office, two things happening. Either they've forgotten that they are in government and that they have a big responsibility to keep this country intact more than any other persons, or they are still delusional about what exactly the mandate was that was given to them on the 7th of December. At some point, I feel that they seem to think that the country was sold to them. It is not in your place, not in any of your places, to sit on TV and say they must be removed, they must be sacked. That thing irks me. He never said it anywhere. Kodwe has never said anywhere that the Electoral Commission should be removed.
Yes.
It is the most reckless position of anybody in our democracy to think that at your own wish and command, certain institutional heads should be removed, like they are doing to the Chief Justice. It doesn't make sense. Because you see, the danger is that if you continue to go on this remove, you are basically making these positions conterminous with other governments that come to office.
Yeah.
We are raising issues of concern with an institution that needs to be fixed. It doesn't mean that they should be removed. Is it the case that at any point in time where the Electoral Commission in place, if you remove them today and bring new persons, are worrying, they should be removed? That at any point in time where you find that an institution is doing something that is not right, your only solution is to remove them? Where did that come from? How did the NDC all of a sudden think that because they are in government, everybody should be at their beck and call, and that they can just get up? And you see, sometimes pay attention to their body language. The manner in which they said should be removed, should be sacked, as if it's their birthright. As if they have that birthright to decide who breathes and who doesn't breathe in this country. They should pull the brakes.
All right.
They should pull the brakes and be extremely cautious that they have a big responsibility to keep the peace of this country, not any other persons. And so you continue playing these drums. It will get to a time where you will be trapped in your own horns, that like they've been trapped today. Today, the banks that will operate at midnight, the factories that will work 24 hours, the ministries that you are going to employ 2 more people for you to be 133, you are here talking economy and talking industry. After your president at your manifesto launch held your manifesto and said nightclubs will operate 24 hours. Where is that in your policy? You are telling us about how we should relax, we should calm down, and that is an economic.
Just 18 months.
You didn't promise us an economic policy, but a 24-hour economy. But there is nowhere in our laws where the Electoral Commission or anybody for that matter, other than the court, is able to come and say that we've had an election, but we will not call it unless we go and reconduct the election in certain polling stations. The bizarre aspect of this whole Ablekuma situation is that Electoral Commission went to Parliament, the House of Records, barely 3 weeks ago to go and brief Parliament on the situation at Ablekuma North. Then they told Parliament that they have done all the collations except for 3 polling stations. And they have written to the IGP for police protection so they can conclude the collation of these 3 polling stations, you recollect. And that has always been the case. In fact, prior to they going to Parliament, the Electoral Commission itself had received an instruction from the court going to both the Electoral Commission and the police for them to go and conclude the collation at Ablekuma North. Is that not the case? So If you come back a week later, after the government has withdrawn, in fact, after the chairman of the government of the day has threatened that you are going to be removed. 2, they withdraw your security, your military security setup at your residence and give all manner of excuses. After that, and then you come and tell us that all of a sudden, it is no longer a conclusion of a coalition of 3 polling stations, and that it is now 19 polling stations. It is worrying. The ridiculous aspect of it is that the three police stations that they have established since December 8th or 9th, and they've even reported to Parliament, one of them doesn't find itself even in the 19 that they are claiming we should rerun. And these are established 3 police stations that everybody admits that there has not been a coalition of those three police stations. I think that this thing is not even just about Electoral Commission. Even the NDC, it is in their interest not to allow this to happen.